Давай. Да, Marvel лучший контакт. But your teeth are a marvel. Лучше. Food лучше F сделай. They break up all your food over the course of your life. Не, вот так вот. Over the course of your life. Не, over the course of your life. Да. Нет, там being. Да, while being strong enough. Не, это не это they are. Я научу так. And they are formed. And they are formed using only the raw materials. Не ground, это grind. From the food they grind down in the first place. Только больше there. What's и behind? What's behind? Не, больше ха. Не, ты beha говоришь, нужно beha. What's behind the impressive strength? Хорошо. Да. Только hard and tough. No, thought of. The hardness can be thought of as the ability to resist the crack from starting.
While toughness is what stops the crack from spreading.
Еще раз, while toughness is what stops, так вот, is what stops the crack from spreading.
Very few materials have both properties.
Так, я не уверен насчет materials.
Very few materials.
Больше very few materials have both properties. Не надо так вот мати. Very few materials. Very few materials. Отлично. Have both properties. Вот.
Both properties. For instance, glass is hard but not tough, while leather is tough but not hard. Teeth manage both by having two layers.
Угу.
A hard external cap of enamel made up almost entirely of a calcium phosphate and
Entirely out of calcium phosphate. Не, out of. Entirely over, yes. Almost entirely over calcium. Phosphate.
and beneath it a tough upper layer of dentin.
Не, там and beneath it a tougher layer of dentin.
Partly formed from organic fibers that make it flexible. This amazing structure is created by two types of cells. Ameloblasts that secrete enamel.
Да, только enamel, так вот. The aminoblasts that secrete enamel.
and odontoblasts that secrete dentin.
И ты не делаешь blasts and odontoblasts that secrete dentin.
As they form teeth, odontoblasts move inward, while ameloblasts move out and slough off when they hit the surface.
Hit me on the head while they hit the surface. Mm.
For enamel, this process produces long, thin strands. Each about 60 nanometers in diameter. That's 1/1000th the width of a human hair. Those are bundled into rods,
Bundled. Только.
packed together. Thousands per square millimeter.
Tens of thousands of per square millimeter.
To form the shield-like enamel layer.
Протяни enamel layer.
Once this process is finished,
Finish. Now once this process is finished. Еще раз.
your enamel can't repair itself again.
Не, can't, не. Your enamel. Сейчас.
Once this process is finished, your enamel can't repair itself again. Because all the cells that make it are lost. So we're lucky that enamel can't be easily destroyed.
We're lucky. Не, enamel, да. So we're lucky that enamel can't be easily destroyed.
Odontoblasts use a more complex process. But unlike ameloblasts,
Не, больше ameloblasts. But unlike ameloblasts,
they stick around.
больше they stick around.
Continuing to secrete dentin throughout your life. Despite the differences in teeth across the mammalian order,
Не, despite the differences in teeth across the mammalian order. Order.
throughout your life, despite the differences in teeth across the mammalian order,
Order. Скажи мне, order.
the underlying process of tooth growth is the same whether it's for lions,
Только is the same. Whether it's it's for lions, elephants,
elephants, or us. What changes is how nature sculpts the shape of the tooth.
sculpture, the sculpts the shape of the tooth. The shape of the tooth. What changes is how nature sculpts the shape of the tooth. The shape of the tooth. Tooth.
altering the folding and growth patterns,
Еще раз. Altering and folding the growth patterns. Yeah, altering the folding and growth patterns.
to suit the distinct diets of different species.
Нет, там suit, как бы, to suit the distinct, да, to suit the distinct diets of different species. Не, вот так вот, distinct. To suit the distinct. To suit the distinct. To suit, протяни немножко. To suit the distinct diets of different species.
Cows have flat molar teeth with parallel ridges for grinding tough grasses.
Parallel ridges for grinding tough grasses.
Cows have flat molar teeth with parallel ridges for grinding tough
Сейчас, подожди. Ну хорошо.
have sharp crested molars.
Еще раз.
Like blades for shearing meat and seed. Pigs have blunt thick ones.
Pig, на pigs. Pigs have blunt, thick ones.
Useful for crushing hard roots and seeds.
Не useful, а useful, полезно. Useful for crushing hard roots and seeds.
The myriad molars of modern mammals.
Еще the myriad molars of modern mammals.
Can be traced back to a common form called tribosphenic.
Of tribosphenics. Еще раз, can be traced back to a common form called tribosphenic.
Which first appeared during the dinosaur age. In the 19th century, paleontologist Edward Drinker Cope
Нет, century. In the 19th century. Нет, S не звучит, century. Вот.
In the 19th century, paleontologist Edward Drinker Cope
Да, paleontologist Edward Drinker Cope. Не, paleontologist Edward Drinker Cope.
developed the basic model for how this form evolved.
Yeah, evolved. Давай, develop the simple, да. Нет, the basic. Давай, ты все-таки на экран смотри, Катя. Develop the basic model of how this form worked. Yeah, evolved.
He hypothesized that it started with a cone-like tooth.
Нет, там должно быть hypo. He hypothesized. He hypothesized.
As we see in many fish, he hypothesized that it started with a cone-like tooth.
Не, подожди. Hypothesized. Да, he hypothesized that it started with a cone-like tooth. Давай еще раз. He hypothesized that it started with a cone-like tooth. That it started with a cone-like tooth. Не started, that it started with a cone-like tooth. Не делай started. That it started. Старая, скажи, старая. Но стараюсь. Старая, но стараюсь, как старушка на стареньком дворике. Ходит, как уточка. Потому что суставы больные. А суставы больные, потому что зубы выпали. Ты знала об этом, нет? Что зубы влияют на суставы. Давай. It started with the... Ну, на все, да. На весь опорно-двигательный аппарат. Хорошо. Не, там должно быть as we see. Подскакивай на глагол. As we see in many fishes. Значит, amphibians and reptiles. Не, cusps. Вот так вот. Small cusps were then added. Не, were then added. Да. Small cusps were then added. Да, ты же интонацию соблюдай. So the tooth had 3 in a row. In a row. Без артиклей, да. Сначала спереди назад, да. Не, the cusps were pushed out. They were pushed out of line to make triangular crowns. Не, adjacent teeth formed a continuous zigzag. Yeah, for crests, for slicing and dicing. Только set of teeth. That's of each set of teeth. Так много for crushing. Не, там cope, ты говоришь как полицейский cope, да. As cope. As cope realized, the tribosphenic molar. Подожди. Molar. Yeah, for the radiation of specialized form to follow. Yeah, teeth of cats and dogs. Raise the shelf. And you've got our human molars.
A few additional tweaks get you a horse or cow tooth.
Tweaks, мягко. A few additional tweaks get you a horse or cow tooth. Не-не-не, это details. Some details of Cope's intuitive hypothesis proved wrong. Не, Катенька, details. Подожди, давай послушаем еще раз. Some details, вот такое details. Some detail. Не, вот убирай это details, подожди. Details, а у тебя detail. Убирай немножко это дик-дик-дик-дик-дик. Some details, some details of Cope's intuitive hypothesis proved wrong. Давай. Ну хорошо, так оставим. Of Cope's intuitive hypothesis. Сейчас, подожди. Катенька, не реагируй уже, ты говоришь details. Some details in Cope's intuitive hypothesis proved wrong. Там не in, там это артикль все равно да. But in the fossil record. As he predicted. Маленький again, and we can trace the molars of all living mammals. Mammals. Back to the primitive form. Да. And we can trace the molars. Back to that primitive form.
Today, the ability to consume diverse forms of food enables mammals to survive in habitats rich
Сейчас. Today is the ability to consume diverse forms of food. Лучше на to survive. Enables mammals to survive. Лучше to survive. Нет, survive. Нету ни одного, ни другого ви. To survive. In habitats. Там все можно говорить. In ocean depths. To rainforests and deserts. Yeah, forests. To rainforests and deserts. Yeah, to rainforests and deserts. Еще раз. To rainforests and deserts. Yeah, of our, подожди. So the success of our biological class.
is due in no small measure to the remarkable strength and adaptability.
Yeah, and adaptability. Ability. Молодец, Катенька. Ну ты молодец, просто вот просто вообще. Ну, никаких вопросов. Я тут и даже делать нечего было с тобой. Так, ну сейчас тогда. Угу. Покажи, что там. Окей. Это как my home handmade, да? Flower. Окей. Нет, не надо вот такой for my toy. Для моих игрушки. Вот так ты говоришь, да? Да, для моей. Это for my toy, скажи. It's a flower for my toy. Не, да, for my toy. Так вот, да. For my toy. Смотри, for my toy. Да, it's a flower for my toy. Не, заучила. For my toy, да. Смотри, по-русски говорим. Это цветок, смотри. Для моей игрушки, да. Это цветок для моей игрушки. Для моей игрушки, смотри. Да, для моей игрушки, да. Это цветок для моей игрушки, давай. Во, да. Сжимай на for my toy. For my toy. Молодец, молодец. Так, ну давай, сама, на 2 языках. По 3 раза иди. 3 раза каждый. Туда-сюда, туда-сюда, туда-сюда. Надо, Федя, надо. Нет, Катенька, давай все-таки мы как-то попытаемся восстановить, что там было, да. You may take them for granted, but your teeth are a marvel. Да, запоминай, как там было, давай. Угу. Не, это уже не та скорость. Ты набрала скорость, потому что там 3-4 раз читаешь. Тогда начинай с медленной. While being strong enough to withstand breakage themselves. А потом уже быстрее. Ты там набрала скорость, потому что это уже какой повтор был. А ты не можешь в новом материале, ну не то что в новом, но как бы с новой строчки читать на той же скорости. Ты не справляешься, это халтура. Давай. Не, ну я не имел в виду, Катенька, ну ты и так лучше всех. Я имел в виду, что мы же стараемся, никто ж никого не обзывает. Давай. Ты должна скорость, Катенька. У тебя есть определенные навыки, понимаешь? Ты не можешь выдавать результат хуже, чем у тебя сам навык есть. И регулируется это скоростью, потому что ты не успеваешь соображать. Да, давай. Ну, Катенька, ты уже 5-й раз идешь, ты еще на орбиту вышла. Давай, while being, вот это. Катенька, я тебе советую пальчики зажимать и все. Давай. Раз, два, три, сюда. Мгм. Катенька, ты по-русски не можешь прочитать, да? Снижай скорость, это так нельзя, понимаешь? У тебя сформируется, ну, прерывистая речь такая, не дикторская. Нам же надо, чтобы ты очень красиво говорила. Чтобы у тебя были руководящие позиции, да? Чтобы тебя слушали. Знаешь, от какого слова руководитель произошло? Что делает руководитель? Руками водит, руками водит. Иди сюда, иди сюда. Вот это взял и туда, туда. Понимаешь? Это руководитель. Давай. While being strong enough to withstand breakage themselves. Дальше. Нет, давай лучше сделаем and they are, вот так сделаем. And they are formed. And they are formed using only the raw materials. Давай дальше. From дальше. From the food they. Не, in the first place. Не, это артикль. On an ingenious. Одна структура, потом еще какая-то. Не самая лучшая, да? Да, давай. Teeth rely on an ingenious structure that makes them both hard and tough. Не отрывай N. Hard and tough. Мгм. Hardness can be thought of. Не, as the ability to resist a crack from starting. Не, ability. As the ability to resist a crack from starting. Мгм. The thought of, the hardness can be thought of. Не, тоже ability. As the ability to resist a crack from starting. Давай дальше. While toughness is what stops the crack from spreading. Но на английский. Не спеши, ты перегружаешься по скорости. Куда ты спешишь? While toughness is what stops the crack from spreading. Хорошо. Ну хорошо. Very few materials have both properties. Убери materials. Very few materials have both properties. Property. Не, так лучше property. Properties. Да. The very few materials have both properties. Не, ты говоришь very. Нужно very few materials. Very few, там где F? В. Скажи мне, В. Да, давай. Very few materials. Да. Обоими свойства. Дальше. Tough. A hard external cap of enamel. A hard external cap of enamel made up almost entirely of a calcium phosphate. Cap, кепочка, да, то есть покрытие, шапка. A hard external cap of enamel, да. Только ты говоришь hard, это все-таки hard external, не hard, не сердце, а тяжелое, да. Hard external cap of enamel. Ты дальше не идешь, почему? Made up almost entirely of a calcium phosphate, да. Давай, Катенька, не молчим, давай. И так все делаешь супер, это просто вообще, это, да, кому покажи, это просто вообще. Давай. A hard external cap. Ты же переключайся с языка на язык, это же гораздо сложнее. Давай. A hard external cap of enamel made up almost... Давай. Сразу раз на тормоз. Almost, не знаешь, как читать? Almost entirely of a Не надо на ишаке ехать. Да. На уточке проплыви. Of a calcium phosphate. Угу. Не, phosphate, извиняюсь. Да. Ну давай еще разок этот. A hard external cap. Entirely of a calcium phosphate. Угу, хорошо, дальше. And beneath it, бини. A tougher layer of dentin. Давай вот эти две прочитаем, вот эти сразу. And beneath it, a tougher layer of dentin, partly formed from organic fibers that make it flexible. Yeah, partly formed. From organic, давай. Так, все, подожди. Вот, давай, да. This amazing structure is created by two types of cells. Aminoblasts. Да. Энамелобласт. Давай. Давай. Нет, that's secrete enamel. Secrete. Не, энамелобласты. которые образуют эмаль. Давай еще раз. Да-да. Ameloblasts that secrete enamel. Не secrete, а secrete. Secrete. Secrete выделяет, да? Secrete enamel. Ну хорошо, давай же пойдем. And odontoblast. Не, адонобласты. Нет, that's secrete. That's secrete dentin. Хорошо. And they form teeth. As they form teeth, odontoblast move forward. Я ошибся. Inward. Да. Внутрь, да. And as they form teeth, odontoblasts move inward. Хорошо. While aminoblasts, while стремятся наружу и отделяются при достижении поверхности. Move out and slough off. Катенька, нельзя такая Ты бери на такую скорость сразу. While aminoblast. Ты знаешь, это слово тебе трудное, да? Все, не надо мекать, да? While aminoblast. А потом дальше move out and slough off when they hit the surface. Все. Ну хорошо. Понимаешь, да? Ты скоростью регулируй то, что у тебя не получается. Иначе ты, это очень долгий путь. Давай. Slough off, а так читается. Ну хорошо, дальше. For enamel. Не, оно. Produces. Опять не следишь за process. Produces, да. This process produces. Each about 60 nanometers in diameter. Дальше. That's one of thousands. The width of a human hair. Подожди, да, мы так сделаем. That's one thousandth. Да. That's one thousandth of the width. Дальше. Those are bonded into rods and packed together. Bounded. Those are bounded into rods, packed together. The tens of thousands per square millimeter. Давай, давай, еще раз, давай по два раза делаем. Tens of thousands per square millimeter. Сейчас я запишу этот кусочек. Да, so we are lucky, да, so we are lucky that enamel. Дальше. Odontoblasts are used. Да. Odontoblasts use a more complex process. Yeah, but unlike aminoblasts, they stick around. Yeah, odontoblasts. Медленно. Odontoblasts. Дальше barodonoblast. Там без тоже можно говорить, да. Barodonoblast. Да, barodonoblast. Complex process. But unlike aminoblast. Хорошо, ладно. Stick around. That's a continuing to secrete dentin throughout your life. Despite the differences in teeth across the mammalian order, despite the, пойдем. Despite the the differences, различия, множественно, да? Despite the differences in teeth across the mammalian order. The underlying process of tooth growth. It's for lines. Дальше. What changes is how nature sculpts the shape of the tooth. What changes is how nature sculpts the shape of the tooth. Altering the folding and growing patterns. Folding, извиняюсь. Altering the folding and growth patterns. Нет, там было вот это вот. Ну хорошо, давай вот отсюда. Suit The distinct diets of different species. Дальше. Дальше. Cow have flat molars. Параллельными гребнями для пережевывания жесткой травы. Parallel ridges for grinding tough grasses. Даже cats have sharp crested molars. Like blades, shearing meat and sinew. Только это не маляры, которые ремонт в квартире делают, это маляры. Давай. Ну, хорошо, да. Pigs have blunt, thick ones, useful for crushing hard roots and seeds. Давай. Pigs, вот сюда, pigs, pigs. Thick ones. Useful for crushing hard roots and seeds. That's the myriad molars of modern mammals. Myriad molars of modern mammals. Не, маляров, маляров. Это зуб называется маляр. Маляров, да. The myriad molars of modern mammals. Can be traced back to a common form called tribosphenic. Да, давай, по два делай. Can be traced back to a common form called tribosphenic, which first appeared during the dinosaur age. Трибосфенических. Tribosphenic. Маляров. Давай. Which first appeared during the dinosaur age. Дальше. In the 19th century, paleontologist Edward Drinker Cope. In the 19th century, paleontologist Edward... Не, paleontologist. Не, drinker. Давай. In the 19th century, paleontologist Edward Drinker Cope. Develop the basic model. Не, разработал основную. He hypothesized, давай сюда. He hypothesized that it started with a cone-like tooth. He hypothesized. Started with a cone-like. Дальше. And we see, as we see in many fishes, amphibians and reptiles. Yeah, amphibians and reptiles. Дальше. Вот сюда вот. Small cusps. Tooth had 3 in a row. The small cusps were then added, so the tooth had 3 in a row. So the tooth had 3 in a row. Хорошо. Aligned from to back and connected by crests. Не просто from back, aligned from to back, aligned front to back, вот так вот. Ну, давай. Давай, по одному разу теперь. Over time, the cusps were pushed out of line to make triangular crowns. Cusps. Бугорков. Да, over time. Pushed out of line. Pushed out of... Так, давай, только на английском один раз, да. Adjacent teeth. Continuous zigzag of crests for slicing and dicing. A low shelf then formed. Дальше. Yeah, which became a platform for crushing. As the jumping off point for the radiation of specialized forms to follow, each shaped by evolutionary needs. Strengthen the crests and remove the shelf, and you've got the conveniently bladed teeth of cats and dogs. Remove the front cusps, raise the shelf, and you've got our human molars. A few additional tweaks get you a horse or cow tooth. Some detailed scopes intuitive hypotheses proved wrong. Не, details. Intuitive hypotheses. Дальше. Fossil record. There, but in the fossil record, there are examples of teeth that look just as he predicted. And we can trace the molars of all living mammals to that primitive form. Today, the ability to consume diverse forms of food enables mammals to survive in habitats. Enables mammals to survive in habitats. Habitats ranging from mountain peaks and ocean depths to rainforests and deserts. So the success of our biological class is due to no small measure to the remarkable strength and adaptability of the humble mammalian molar. Remarkable to the remarkable. Не, adaptability of the humble mammalian molar. Давай еще раз это. So the success of our biological class is due to no small measure to the remarkable strength and adaptability of the humble mammalian molar. Поэтому давай, это уже на русском сделай, давай тоже. На двух языках. Млекопитающих. Ну хорошо. Так, сейчас делаем так. Сейчас включаю и переводишь на русский, как можешь. Что это было? Ну хорошо. Да.
You may take them for granted, but your teeth are a marvel. They break up all your food over the course of your life while being strong enough to withstand breakage themselves, and they're formed using only the raw materials from the food they grind down in the first place. What's behind their impressive strength? Teeth rely on an ingenious structure that makes them both hard and tough. Hardness can be thought of as the ability to resist
Не останавливаемся. Идем.
is what stops the crack from spreading. Very few materials have both properties. For instance, glass is hard but not tough, while leather is tough but not hard. Teeth manage
Катенька, ты не останавливаешься, хватай отдельные слова, да? То есть как бы тебя ж никто не ругает, да? Не можешь, одно слово схватило, все, другое, третье, отдельно, да? Это потом вопрос времени, когда это пойдет сначала. Давай. Поехали сначала. Так, я тебе немножко увеличу тебе размер текста. Ты на него тоже можешь ориентироваться немножко, да? Да, конечно. На английский смотришь, но на русский успеваешь переключаться.
You may take them for granted, but your teeth are a marvel. They break up all your food over the course of your life while being strong
Идем дальше. Не боимся, не боимся.
Once this process is finished, your enamel can't repair itself again because all the cells that make it are lost. So we're lucky that enamel can't be easily destroyed. Odontoblasts use a more complex process, but unlike ameloblasts, they stick around, continuing to secrete dentin throughout your life. Despite the differences in teeth across the mammalian order, the underlying process of tooth growth is the same whether it's for lions, kangaroos, elephants, or us. What changes is how nature sculpts the shape of the tooth, altering the folding and growth patterns to suit the distinct diets of different species. Cows have flat molar teeth with parallel ridges for grinding tough grasses. Cats have sharp crested molars, like blades, for shearing wood and sinew. Pigs have blunt thick ones, useful for crushing hard roots and seeds. The myriad molars of modern mammals can be traced back to a common form called tribosphenic, which first appeared during the dinosaur age. In the 19th century, paleontologist Edward Drinker Cope developed the basic model for how this form evolved. He hypothesized that it started with a cone-like tooth, as we see in many fishes, amphibians, and reptiles. Small cusps were then added, so the tooth had three molars aligned front to back and connected by crests. Over time, the cusps were pushed out of line to make triangles.
Катенька, хватай отдельные слова, давай.
Formed a continuous zigzag of crests for slicing and dicing. A low shelf then formed at the back of each set of teeth, which became a platform for crushing. As Cope realized, the tribosphenic molar served as the jumping-off point for the rich set of specialized forms to follow, each shaped by evolutionary needs. Straighten the crests and remove the shelf, and you've got the convenient blade teeth of cats and dogs. Remove the front cusp, raise the shelf, and you've got our human molars. A few additional tweaks get you a horse or cow tooth. Some details in Cope's intuitive hypothesis proved wrong, but in the fossil record, there were examples of teeth that look just as he predicted, and we can trace the molars of all living mammals back to that primitive form. Today, the ability to consume diverse forms of food enables mammals to survive in habitats ranging from mountain peaks and ocean depths to rainforests and deserts. So the success of our biological class is due in no small measure to the remarkable strength and adaptability of the human nature. 10A is a nonprofit. If you value our work, visit self-support.
Катенька, молодец. Это же уровень аспирантуры какой-нибудь там, это, иньяза. Вот. Ты только не расстраивайся, да, это длинный процесс, но то, что ты делаешь,